Hey YouTube, Otto here. I am sitting here on official. You can see, no, I have everything covered. I have streamer mode and all that jazz on. Here you can see my buffs because we just got back from the Fountain of Youth a couple days ago. That was an interesting ride. Wow, already 3 years older. Man, time goes so fast on official. It's crazy how fast it goes. I wish they'd slow it down like 4 times slower than it is. But anyways, sitting here on official. Well, what's that? That's right. That's a Javelin. I fully finished building it. I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, an hour ago. Oh, where do we start with this? Comments. Guys, do your research before you comment. I'm trying not to give people bad information. And when people jump on and they start saying, you know, that's too heavy for official, or, you know, you're never going to be able to build out on official because you're going to hit max structures, and any number of other comments, you know, that misinform people. Let me tell you what, official's piece count is higher than on my private server. And I know that because I built everything I usually build on that Javelin. I put all the normal pieces on it, just like regular, okay? Even the front clip and stuff. And I didn't even spare any on the cannons. Because if you look, let's go take a peek at her, right? Bonsai! Sploosh! There we go. Alright, now let's get over here and take a good look at her, right? Okay. She's got the red and gold paint job. There you go. You got 6 in the rear. And they are tight. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. You have to make your right and left walls doorways, and you have to inlet the first 2. Okay? The one here and the one over there on the other side. This one over here. It's the only way they fit. This one actually, that's a solid wall. This is a regular, but if you notice, this one had to be pushed in pretty far. And if I did it over again, I wasn't going to destroy the cannons and wipe them from being off a few inches. But what I would recommend for you guys, if you want to be, you know, more precise, more showroom quality, set a doorway on either side and split the difference between the 2 sides. In any event, it's off such a small amount you can hardly even tell. Yeah, I was able to get the mediums on the right and the left, no problem. You do have to do a little bit of creative building because it's harder to build on official with the collision than it is on the other server I was building on, because you can't get away with everything in the same way. Gosh, I should go in and show you guys. On my build, I usually don't put 2 ramps here. On this one, I had the pieces to, and so I did. Okay, these are all the same. These pillars here are the same. Let's jump in over here. One of the more difficult areas to build, guys, was these towers right here. And I'll tell you why. Is because when I started them, here, okay, I put this piece down here, the slanted piece first, right? And then I put, let's pull a pistol so you guys can, or a pistol so you can see where I'm pointing. Okay, I did this slanted piece first, and then I put in this one here, and then I put that solid up, right? And then I put another ramp down, and I knew I had another solid there, but here was the problem. If you put a solid up, this outside solid right there, if you put that outside solid up first, okay, you're not going to be able to get that second piece of armor down through the center of it on the outside of the ship. Let's just run over here, take a peek at it. See, these walls have double armor to really protect him all the way through. That's what makes the rear end of the ship so strong. The sides and all that are all, they're triple armored back here. Okay, not the very top, but the very sides where the walls are, usually where you're getting hit with cannonballs. And so they're triple armored. And the only way you can get that right over here in the corner is you have to build a half wall, okay, and you put it right there on top, right there, okay, and then you put a floor right across here, okay, and then you come in here, and in the front of this right here, then you put this half wall on top of the floor. Once this half wall is in, you can come over here, pull this half wall up, and then pull the floor up. The whole point in doing those two was to get this half wall in. Once that half wall's in, then you can go ahead and put your floor on above it, which is this floor right here, and then you can go ahead and put a full wall right there on the sides. Okay? So again, you're going to half wall, all right, and then floor right across here, right across the top of this doorway, straight across here, then another half wall in the front. That half wall in the front won't set down unless you have a floor here. So that's why you got to have that floor there. So you could even say you could just go floor and then half wall. And then but I believe that half wall connects to this half wall or this wall. So once that front half wall is down, pull the floor, pull the half wall, put in a full wall. Okay? But now that it's been set, you can now put your half armor across there, half midway up that wall. Okay? And that's how you got to do both pillars. Yeah, I didn't have any problems getting them in here after that. In the back here, I do recommend that you go a doorway on the right and the left. It really does make these fit in here easier. As you can see, on my server, I can go this handle here to this handle here. So that huge gap right there is totally filled. Right? On official, you can't. On official, you got to put the shoulders dead tight. That's as far as you can get. Okay? So there's 6. Across the sides, I was able to get 7. And we'll go outside and take a peek at that. But before we do, here's another 6 in the front on the top. And here's another 6 in the front on the bottom. Now, when you're placing your front sail, here's the thing. Place the sail before you place the cannons. Okay? Because if you don't, the sail will not place down. Place a doorway, inlet the first cannon, run 3, stop. Come over here. Place the doorway, inlet the first cannon, run 3 across, stop. Okay, that's after you've already put the sail. But then you're like, well, how do I know where to put the sail? Easy. Remember in the front here? Right here is the big hole that's normally here in the front, right? You go one tile, right? The very next tile, bam, that is your row for your cannons and your pillars. So then all you got to do is put this ramp going outside the ship, put this doorway going straight up, run over here, put this ramp going out, put this doorway going up, put another doorway above that doorway, come over here, put another doorway above that doorway, right? So now you just stack 2 doorways and you got a ramp on the right and on the left, right? And now you just put your 4 floor pieces across, and that's your main piece where your cannons go. I actually recommend don't put these 4 pieces of floor in until these cannons are down. Okay? So, but here's the point. Once you have this pillar down, these 2 doorways right here, and this ramp, and it's only 1 tile away from this center spot here, because we'd have 1 tile, 2 tile, this would be a tile here, 3, and then boom, the 4th one is your row where you start. Okay? Or the 3rd one if you just go from this first set of tiles right here. 1, 2, boom, 3. As soon as you know where those are, now you know exactly where to put your sail. You know it's on the dead backside of this row where you're putting all your pillars and your cannons. So then just throw these 3 pieces up, 2 doorways and a ramp, and then come over here, throw up your 2 doorways and a ramp, and then you immediately know where to put your sail. Put your sail down early. Okay, in the front, put it down early. That way you can place all these cannons, and once that's down, the cannons can be placed next to and in front of this sail. They did not conflict at all. Okay, you can go ahead and run 3 across. You can come over here, you can run 3 across. Sail won't even get in the way. It'll all be blue all the way across, so you won't have a problem, as long as your first 2 are inset right. Now what I did, pay attention to your handle right here. Okay, your handle here should be slightly inside the molding piece here on the door frame. That's all. Okay? So that's it. And then the frame for the cannon's like pretty much middle of the doorway. Okay, so we'll go up top. Same thing up top. right? If you place your sail early, like I just said, you're not going to have any problems with placing your cannons. And look, I can mount the cannon, no problem. If I can mount it, so can an NPC. And I even have a cupboard in front of it. And I like that cupboard there because a captain can come out right here. Right? Boom. Right here's captain. Okay? We have captain on the right, we have lieutenant on the left, and they both have doorway entries, no problem. Something happens, you need to go grab something, whatever, grappling hook breaks, or you need to grab a different armor or something. Maybe you changed zones or something. Maybe you went from tundra to Mediterranean or what is it called? Deciduous. I don't know what it's called. What zone are we in? I don't know, the middle weathered area. It's not hot, but it's not cold. It's kind of in between. Or maybe you went from tundra, or I'm sorry, from tropical to the middle area, and you don't need to put all your cloth on. Now you got to put some warmer clothes on. See, I'm not in the tundra, but here, as a norm, I wear 3 pieces of full plate and 2 pieces of fur. And I find all day long that keeps me a good temperature, and my character doesn't complain when it rains or when it's hot. And that's because I'm in the middle temperatures here. So anyhow, come out of the captain's thing. Be careful coming here, because if you run, it's very easy to step right off this edge. See? Your character takes a little hop. Let's see if we can zoom back. See? He takes a hop. And so if you fly off, you're going to go right off your ships. You got to be careful there. You got to come down nice and easy. Or I recommend come down at an angle so you don't take that hop so much. Okay, so we come in. Another tip doing this. Okay, unofficial. Set these pieces here before you set this first cannon. Okay? You want to set these triangle angle pieces behind your door before you set the cannon. A lot of the build is identical to the way I showed you in the other video. But set these corner pieces, these angles, before this cannon. Because I actually had to tear 2 of these cannons out. This one and the one down there on the end. Because they were just a smidge too far forward. And this piece could not go in. So what I learned is just put in your corners, okay, when you've got your floor laid. And then boom. As soon as this first one goes in up tight to it, you're golden. Then just run them across. What I did is I ran 4. And then I stopped, and then I come down here, and I ran the other 3. Okay, you can see here, this is the biggest gap. And it's identical on this other side. Here we got 4, and then here we got 3. So you can see here, guys, you got 7 on your sides. You got 6 in the front. Okay, so this is a lot different than my build on my server. Because on my server, I was getting 8 in the front, and on the front, top, and bottom. And I was getting 10 across the sides. And that's because I was buttoning these handles up. But here you get 6 and 6, then you get 7 and 7, okay? And then in the back you get 6 more, and then you got your 2 sides for your utility. Your explosive barrels that you have to preload those for NPCs. You pretty much save them for a special event, okay? I already have. What you do is you preload these. You come over here. You put them on you. You put the ammo on you. And then you click the gun, and then you click ammo type, and then you come down here and you click explosive barrel. Okay, and then you click R when you're on the gun like this, right? And then you reload it. And you just put, or you can press shift. Shift switches your ammo. If you guys didn't know, if you're looking in the bottom left-hand corner, left shift switches the ammo you can reload into it, okay? And so preload those explosive barrels into these guns. Okay, and you can put 1 in it. Okay, if you, I think you can put another one on the NPC that is actually sitting here if he has enough weight. I usually run my NPCs to about 150 pounds so they can carry a couple barrels plus the one that's in it. That's 3, and so that's a real good way to go. And then what you do is you put these cannons here. Like I'll do it right now. We will change the group. We don't want this to be group back, okay? We're going to put this to group 6, okay? And we're going to go over here, and we're going to change this one. We don't want it to be on group 6 either because we may not want to fire them both at the same time. So we're going to put it on group 7. There you go. So now the left, or the port side, I'm sorry, there's the front of the ship. The starboard side is group 6. And the port side is group 7. Now you can fire those explosive barrels one by one. Okay, and the way you use those things is you fire them, you target, ideally you target this gun straight behind your ship. Okay, right in the path of whatever's chasing you. You shoot that explosive barrel out, and then you get yourself a sharpshooter out here. He can shoot out here. Okay, maybe it's a player. He can snipe it from here. Or what I recommend is get up top. Get up top and snipe it. As soon as that ship gets on top of that barrel, shoot it. It'll explode and boom, does a ton of damage to him. Okay, so that's how that works. Yeah, I was able to put down my food thing. I was able to put down my resource bin, ammo, all the normal stuff. Let's see what else. Okay, this build is different. Okay, it's different than the one I did because the one I did I was using all large cannons. But let's do the count. On my server, let's see here. We had 8, 8, 10, 10, 8. So we lost 4 cannons in the front. We lost 2 cannons in the rear. That's 6. And then we lost 3 cannons down each side. So 6 and 6 is 12. We lost 12 large cannons. But, hello, check this out. You can come down here. You can put this deck in. You can mount all 6 or 12 total, 6 on each side of your mediums, and you just made up the 12 cannons you lost from the other build. You are literally running the same amount of cannons as the build I put in that other video. The difference is they're split up. So now your broadside is firing 6 mediums and 7 larges. Okay? So what I recommend is leave the mediums on your normal, like this side here, you can see it there, says group right order. Okay, put that group right order, leave that group right order, or left order, right? And then the ones upstairs, put on groups 8 and 9. Okay? That way, you can decide if you're going to fire the little mediums, because maybe there's only a sliver of health and you don't want to waste all those cannonballs, because we all know these darn cannonballs are expensive to make. I was just doing up all the math and stuff to fill up this ship. And they are rather expensive. All the metal, 10 metal or something, or 14 metal per cannonball, like, that's a ton. That's a ton of metal to put into a cannonball. That means I have to have, what is it, 1,400 metal for 100 heavy cannonballs. Okay, so what I'm realizing is it is so expensive to build your ship and outfit it with the right ammo. You're pretty much paying for the blueprints when you're out there killing ships of the dam, because it's just so expensive for those heavy cannonballs. And just don't forget, when you set up here, you've got to have medium cannonballs too. So I recommend about 200 apiece. So yeah, then you're going to be shooting 7 large up top, 6 mediums in the bottom. That's 13 cannons you're going to be firing. Okay? And so if you decide later you want to load up these bottoms with bar, maybe you're on a PvP server or something, you can load these bottoms with bar, you can load your top with cannons, and every broadside you fire is going to be doing both plank damage and sail damage. You know, whatever you want. But maybe you don't like that, okay? Because I'm just going to show you some math here, okay, guys? I've already thrown some excess stuff on the ship, so the numbers are a few hundred pounds off, but this is what I want to show you. I said in that other video, your ship on official would be about 8,600 pounds. Okay? I was wrong. Your ship on official, without this deck, just like that other build was, without these cannons, 8,500 pounds. Right on the nose. Okay? 8,500 pounds. When you put this deck in, that brings it to 86. And then when you put in all these cannons, okay, it brings you to 98. Look where I'm sitting. 9838.5. Okay? That's because I have all these cannons on here. And the gun ports are open. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you guys. Remember on my server when I had all those huge counts of large cannons? I was running like approximately 10,000, between 10,000 and 10,004 was my weight. Well, look at here. Here I am on official. I have the entire same build, okay, with as far as room will allow, and I kept the downstairs medium cannons with gun ports, and I'm sitting at 9,800 pounds. Okay, So I've already set up the emergency cabinets. I had no problem having enough room for cabinets. In fact, officials' numbers are so much higher than they used to be, I've not even hit the build limit. Okay? And stuff I've put on here, I never accounted for all these. Well, actually on the original build I did. Because there's 12 and 12. Okay, those are the same. Usually, oh look, I have 2 beds down there. I don't usually do that. I already went upstairs. What I did is I went upstairs on the deck. I went out here. I didn't cut any corners on this build at all to make it fit. I literally threw down ramps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I stopped. After having all of this built and done everything you're looking at, okay? And I still didn't hit the piece counts. Oh, yo, check this out, too. Oh, wrong one. Where is it? That's the right one, right? Maybe I have to do it like this. I don't know what's up with this thing. Why is it not giving me control of my... Sail controls E. Nobody manning sail. Okay. Whatever happened to my... I don't know. I put 9 rope ladders up that. Maybe it's because I'm not moving or something. It won't let me... it won't let me pull them down or something. I'm not sure, really. But there's 9 rope ladders up that, too. And this one is... Yeah, okay. That one I kept down. But anyhow, the point was I wanted to tell you that I was able to put the rope ladder up. I always put it up on the front one because that's the one that's out in front of the ship. You don't want all these sails and junk in the way. So I put it up there. And I guess as soon... Maybe they're bugged or something because right now the rear rope ladder on that ship, I can't even call it. When I try to call it, whistle it, it won't come down. So there's a bug in there. Something got broke recently. Maybe the sails are broke too because I'm not seeing ladder control anymore. But anyways, there was 9 pieces I put up there too, and I never do that. What else did we do on this that was abnormal? Just showing you there's like extra pieces that I don't usually use because like I literally could not find the end of the piece count. And I know normally they're 419 pieces. I know because I counted every single one in a previous research I did. I had walls down across an entire frame like everywhere. But I counted them because I put them in my inventory in stacks of 100. I don't usually do this. I don't usually do a podium and then slide down the other way. And I figured, hey, why not? I don't usually have this deck on here. That's another extra piece. I don't usually run 3 cabinets when I'm on a ship that has 2 decks, because usually the other build had 2 decks. It had the top deck and the bottom deck. This one has all 3 decks. So I put an emergency cabinet on every single deck. And I went up top and I put down all those ramps and I still didn't hit the limit. So I was like, okay, let's put a mortar and pestle on there because I might need to make some ammo out there on the road. Let's put a bookshelf. Let's put a grill. Let's put some preserving bags. So yeah, I just started pulling out a bunch of other stuff I would normally put on here. I did put a smithy down here. I never put those in these either. Not the warships. I don't. I put a second bed because I was like, hey, why not? You know, maybe I want to go to a Fountain of Youth, and we all know those death runs are fun, respawning over and over again. Yeah, there's the smithy. I had no problem, and I've still not hit the maximum. Okay, I've had another like 15 pieces up on the deck, the top deck with those ramps, and I still didn't hit the max. And so I'm not sweating it. There's plenty of extra on this build. Okay, and I have everything on here that I would normally run. Now, obviously, okay, if you are on a PvP server, you're going to want to lock this thing down, right? And so what I recommend is a lot of these are fine. Lock your outer doors, obviously. Keep those locked. No one can walk around the cannons. I just wanted to show you guys. Okay, you can walk across the barrels on the cannons. Literally, like I'm running across the barrels on the cannons. Okay, but what I wanted you to see is this right here. Okay, I can't duck down and get in here. Okay, it's not going to happen. All right, so that's not a security risk. And no one can get in between these two either. You're like, well, what about that little gap there? Can they get? No, they can't. They can't get in there, okay? So the only place they can actually get on your ship, like they can get on the outside here, okay? But they can do that on every ship. They can't really do squat back here unless you leave the door open. So shut your doors. But out here, the only place they're going to get anywhere on your ship the most is right here. And that's because this is open, and it needs to be open because of that. So what I recommend is this right here. Put it, because you can get through here. This is how I get from the front to the rear, right? Okay. So what I recommend is put a floor piece across here. That'll stop that from happening. There will be no way for them to shimmy their way in, okay? They can't get their fat head through there, so don't worry about that. And once there's a floor piece across there, they can't get across there either. So yeah, just put a floor piece across either side, and that'll cover that up. And then they can't get in here. What are they going to do? Just get stuck down in here and do nothing? Because there's nothing in here. There's no way down. This is all sealed up, right? And the reason you don't build this up is because your cannons have to shoot over your front nose. Okay? So, now there's an option you guys can take if you want. I actually changed this front end a little bit because I thought it looked cooler. I left two pieces out because, well, here I'm Caribbean tiger sharks, and those were like teeth. You know, even the front ramps down in the front right and left are teeth. And so I did all that on purpose. But what you can do, okay, for those of you that are really looking to get creative, maybe you want to seal up this front nose. I like the nose. I think it's cool. But I also like having those extra cannons down there on the bottom for that front end punch. We really do enjoy those one shots, don't we? So what you can do though, pull those bottom cannons out, put them on the top. Okay? Take your lieutenant, put it in the back. Take your helm, put it in the center. Take those cannons, put them in the top, and cover them. Put ramps, put a wall on either side, put a ramp down. Okay, put one of these corner ramps in the front, put another corner ramp here in the front, and then cover the rear with the same corner, just like this corner. It's this corner right here. Okay, so you're going to have this ramp, then you're going to have a straight, and that's going to be the area where your cannons are, and then you're going to have another ramp right here. Okay, this ramp here, up here, okay, this is where your crew would go. This right here would be where your cannons are. Okay, and if your crew's here and your cannon's here, okay, what you do is you stagger these over to the left. That way this sail can go down through the middle of them, and it'll never hit them because you're going to accommodate this sail because it's got to go there. Okay, so it'll be the same issue as you did downstairs. Okay, place the sail early, and then when you put your cannons up here, the sail will never get in the way, and you'll be able to put your cannons right across there, and you're going to have two cannons right here, like real tight, right here, and then another one right here, and you're going to be able to mount them just like it was downstairs. And the reason you do all that doesn't make your front end higher, okay? Doesn't make it a bit more blocky and not as sleek in the front? Yes, it does. But you can take angle pieces, angle floor pieces, if you have enough pieces. I didn't check this, okay? I don't know if there's 30, 40, 50 more pieces. I don't know. But if there is, you can cover this entire front end. You can literally seal this whole area in here up and then use this for anything you want. You know, I don't know what you're going to use it for, but you could do that. Okay, what else we got going here? Let's see here. If you do both broadsides, okay, if you do the bottom, the 6 medium, and the sides, the 7 large, okay, you're going to be back to 51 crew to man this ship. Okay, which means it's going to take 48 levels. Okay, 48 levels to get enough crew, to get enough crew to cover everything. Which gives you 4 levels for weight. That's 800 pounds. Okay, now you're looking at it. You're looking at what the ship's going to weigh. Okay, before resources, before ammo. So minus 800, because you're going to put. This is when the ship is finally maxed out. You're going to have 9,000 pounds of an absolute monster ship, okay? And so that's going to give you, let's see here, 80 is 80, 160, 320. That's going to give you 12,320 pounds that you have to stay under in order to be under your 80 percentile so that your ship is still going to move really well. It's not going to be ultra fast because it's not going to be ultra light. But if you're looking for ultra light, you don't want a build like this. If you're looking for ultra light, look at that right there. That's what you want right there if you want ultra light. Right there. You want a bare bones build on a schooner and maybe a few cannons or, you know, whatever you're going to put on it. But that's pretty much what you're looking for ultralight. Okay? If you want to build something heavy that's going to be able to do some serious damage in combat, that's going to be a force to reckon with, you're looking for a brig and a build like this. In which case you're going to have 3,300, approximately 3,320 pounds that you can use for ammo and resources. Now, is that going to be, I'd probably say, I'd keep it at nothing more than 3,000. And you're going to have, let's see here. It's pretty heavy. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that it's not heavy. But you don't always have to run your broadsides. And if you, let's see what we weigh when we pull in our broadsides. You're going to be pushing your 80 percentile with your resources and your cannons. I'm not figuring gold is going to cost you a lot. Because if you're a kind of player that's running around with thousands of gold on your ship, then clearly you don't want resources and you don't want cannonballs. Okay, if you want thousands of gold on your ship, I'm going to ask first off why, unless you're going to buy something. Secondly, you should have that on like a galleon or something, not a brig. And you don't need to have thousands of gold on a ship in order to keep your crew crewed. This is where I park this ship. All I have to do is go down there right there, just inside that wall, and place a resource container and a food larder, and then any of my ships I have parked here are going to be fed right there on the fly, or even bury it down in there in the dock. Okay? So I'm only out a few hours at a time. Okay? And if I'm going to be out extended, a couple hundred gold is more than enough to have on your ship. Okay? And then, in my experience, all you need is about 2,000 wood, thatch, 4,000 fiber, 800 hide, and I would say about probably a minimum of 300, somewhere between 300 to 500 alloy. Okay, it's usually about 2,000 pounds in resources. Okay, and that's if you're going out for an extended journey trip. All right, and that's why I said you're going to be pushing that 3,000 pounds, because 200 cannonballs is 1,400 pounds. And so what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up running probably about 150 heavy cannonballs and probably about 150 medium cannonballs. And you're going to be pushing about that 1,400, 1,500 pound mark. And then you're going to have the other 1,500 pounds or so for resources. Okay, that's how you're going to have to do it. And that's all because you kept the bottom deck. Okay? Oh, I missed a plank. I gotta go down there and paint that. I missed two of them. Did I miss two of them? Yeah, I did. I gotta paint those. Okay, anyways. So, how much does it weigh with the shut? Okay, we lost about 700 pounds. 800 pounds. Wait, it was 98. 700. Okay, yeah, we lost 700 pounds by shutting those. So, if you need more resources, maybe you don't want to run your mediums. Okay? You can get another 700 pounds by closing them. But I also want to say this. You don't have to run those bottom mediums. You can get rid of them. And if you get rid of them, the entire ship just dropped 1,300 pounds. Okay? And so that 1,300 is going to make up for it. Pretty much you're going to have, if you put the 13 with the 3,300, you're looking at 4,600 pounds. Okay? 4,600 pounds is plenty enough weight for ammo and for resources. Okay, and now it's back to being the build that we've seen previously in the other video, because we never actually did keep the lower guns. These lower guns are just an option, but you have to pay for that option. You can't get your cake and eat it too. If you take the bottom guns, you're going to lose a lot more weight. Okay? The other option, don't forget though, the other thing is, if you drop the bottom guns, you just made it so you don't need 51 crew. You need 12 less crew. Okay? So you're going to need 39 crew instead of 51. And because you need 39 crew, which is 12 less, you can take all those levels, which is, I think it's like every 4 levels is 3 crew. So that's 16 levels. 16 levels. Okay? You can put those 16 levels into weight. And 16 times 200 is 3,200 pounds. Okay? Now we just jacked that 4,300 up to 7,500 pounds. 7,500 pounds is loads of room for resources, ammo, gold, tames, crew, friends, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever you're going out to do. So that's what I would probably recommend for most people. If you're looking for a serious challenge, keep your bottom medium guns. If you're not, then ditch the middle deck, ditch the 12 cannons, and you're going to take all the rest of those levels and put them all into weight, and you're going to be golden, man. You're going to be able to sail this thing like butter. And it's going to be one of the meanest ships out there. It's going to be literally one of the meanest brigs on the water. Overall, and I'm talking about armor, I'm talking about DPS, style, everything. I mean, this thing is awesome. So, yeah, I just wanted to confirm for you guys. It is 1,000% possible on official. No problems whatsoever. Loads and loads of pieces still. The official numbers, I believe, have gone up. I still haven't hit the end of them. And you've got loads and loads of room for weight, your guns. The hardest part for you guys, some of you have never sailed a ship this, I want to say it's a bit of a handful. It's a lot to keep up with, okay? You got to keep everything repaired, including those cannons and the decks in front of the cannons. Don't let the floors fall out because you neglected the floors. You got to handle your weights well, especially if you keep the bottom guns. And you're probably not used to having this much firepower all the way around your ship. And firing guns, large guns are totally different than mediums. You have to be dead on with your aim. If you're not, you'll miss. And those cannonballs are friggin' expensive to be missing. And on top of, we seen it before in that other video. You got to be lined up when you're taking your shots. You got to be lined up here. You got to be right in between the middle of all your guns so and you got to be at the right height too. To change your height, just go forward and backwards like this. You got to be dead on with it. And some of you are just going to whiff a bunch of balls, and that's okay. You're going to get better as you get more practice. But the point is this ship is a handful to keep up with. You are going to have to be better as a captain to handle a ship like this. But once you master it, you're going to be an absolute monster out there. And in all seriousness, I've not seen anything, okay, unofficial out here in the water that can keep up with one of these. All right? And I'm talking about the game itself, not anything players are putting out there. PvE, butter. Ships of the Dam, butter. Ghost ships, butter. I wouldn't tank the ghost ship like side to side, okay, because the ghost ship is taking out panels in like 4 or 5 volleys. Alright, and so you're going to have a ton of repairs. I would not recommend duking it out with that galleon ghost ship. However, you can sail in front of it, shoot it, shoot it, spin, and when you see what you do is head right for it. Okay, go straight for it, fire, hit with the front, spin, hit with the side. By that point, it's going to try to start turning. It's a galleon. It turns like, and it turns like a degree every 10 minutes or something. You don't even have to worry about that. So fire in the front, turn. Fire in the side, turn. When you get your rear to it, when you get the rear, take your shot. Now get distance. Okay, don't immediately turn again. Okay, get your distance. Once you've got decent distance, turn. You should be at pretty much the max range of your broadside here. Take another shot. Okay, and now turn your front end back towards it and rinse, repeat. Take the front, turn. Take the side, turn. Take the rear, fire it, get your distance. Every time your rear end comes towards it, you should be getting distance again. So what I'm saying is you got to be a strategic captain to handle something like this and not get yourself burnt down. For the most part, if this ship goes down, it was because of the captain. It was just bad captaining. This is a, you know, top-notch, I would say S+ grade brig out here on the water. And I'm handing it to you guys so you guys can have fun with it, but I don't want to hear any more of that nonsense that is not possible on official. You guys just do your homework first and you'll know these answers without feeding them in comments to everyone else, because we don't want to misinform people. Alright, y'all. If you have any questions, go ahead and hit it up in the comments. I am on the PvE server. You can find me on there. You can find me on Steam. And don't forget, if you're interested in Star Citizen, check us out. We're 1,600 plus people strong. We're a serious PvP group. Very friendly, though. Lots of guys and gals in there from all over the world. So where you're from doesn't really matter. As long as you're cool and you're not coming with an attitude, chip on your shoulder, and looking to cuss someone out because you're pissed off about something. For the most part, we're a very mellow, cool bunch, and we try to keep it that way. Synchronizers.com down in the description. Let's see here. I think that's it, guys. I will try to get some more work done on the castle here on official as soon as I'm able to. Right now, all that metal's going towards cannonballs to get this thing equipped, and I am keeping the side guns, so I'll let you know how all that works out. I'm also running handicapped because this is the ship I inherited from my buddy. And if you look here, 11.3, 15 of the levels are already gone. They're already gone in accommodations. So that's going to really hurt me. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. But for the most part, right now, this is just a demo ship. And it'll just show people, what's up, how it works, what's possible. And I may even build another brig and transfer, jump into that one. Alright, my little guy's calling me. Alright, y'all. Like, subscribe, share, and we will see you in the next one.